No one here has been to law school.
I got an 8 for insight, so it's true. I did not go to law school.
I'm close. I'm a scholar.
Okay, so maybe Demos went to law school for like a semester.
He's a dwarf cleric, and I call him Bion the Bootylicious. Often.
I forgot about that.
Perfect. Well, you have a really nice booty, by the way.
Yeah, that is canon. You have a great ass. Whoever wants to get started? Anybody?
I can go.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Demos, a lizard folk Way of the Drunken Master monk.
But that information isn't, like, publicly known yet?
I'm a lizard and I'm nervous. And I learned how to laugh.
And you do it really well.
I have a nervous laugh. But it's not necessarily... I'm not necessarily nervous. It's just the laugh that I learned how to do. And it's how I respond to all emotional situations.
Excellent. Next.
This is C, and I am playing Kontos, and I am a Warforged guy who comes to the Olympic Games to bet on different sports to make money to fund all of my inventions. But I don't have a backstory. That's still a mystery to me because I forgot to write it.
Yeah, I mean, all Warforged in this canonically are newborns.
I have my memories set on a 24-hour cycle.
I've hidden them even from myself.
So my character is Vaso Varus. He's pretty boring, human barbarian, but a little bit older and a little more scruffy looking.
Definitely not in the Mafia.
Yeah, definitely not in the Mafia. I'm just a person who likes to help manage bets, and apparently terrorize people who are not very unsure of themselves.
Yeah. And sometimes people's kneecaps get mysteriously broken in your vicinity, but you didn't do it.
If legs are broken, in my vicinity, yeah.
Just have weak patellas.
Somehow Niketas finds Vaso Varus' moral compass okay. Bion might have an issue with him, but he seems to be pretty on the straight and narrow as far as morality is concerned.
Perfectly aligned.
He's not the one who summoned a black hole and murdered people. So
yeah, I think that's a great way to segue into your introduction, Amanda.
Well, you have to call her by her government name, Razdaz.
Yeah. Well, Tim, if you want to go ahead and go until we figure out what's going on.
Sure. Niketas is Niketas, the Custos of Justice. He is an agent of justice and morality. He is a changeling. He's a bard rogue wizard. He's very, very, very squishy, and he's not really martial in any capacity. He's purely investigative. So think of him as like a Sherlock Holmes / investigator back in ancient Greece, like a private detective basically of today. And he is acting as Securitas. He is security for the Olympics, and he's partnered with Bion to basically be the event police or the event staff security of the Olympics.
Yeah, and as of the beginning of this, you guys had not seen anyone else, any other security staff, so you're pretty sure you're alone for the whole Olympics.
I'm even more honored.
Yeah, hey.
Now we can.
Okay, good. So, I'm Amanda. I'm playing Razdaz. She's a changeling sorcerer, which is common knowledge because I change my face constantly. I like to mimic any other cool limbs that I see. I am also a really big fan of chaos, and I think that mortals are flexible at best.
And you clearly like dwarven asses.
Right.
We learned
Well,
that.
all of them. Yes, specifically.
Think of that meme now.
Oh man.
That's all you're gonna think about now.
Yeah, that's all I'm ever gonna think about. All right, so Dan, would you like to reintroduce Bion now that he's you, not me?
Sure. Hey, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Bion, and you're watching the Disney Channel.
And that's how we get sued by Disney again.
Bion is a little dwarf cleric, and he's very cute, and he's very important, and he only cares about the law and looking good. So every time you see him, he's going to be looking fly. He's got his collar popped and his hair sticking back.
I mean, really, those are the two most important things.
I mean, really, if you're being a rent-a-cop for a career, that's what you got to do, right? You got to impress people.
So, I mean, kind of the way that I understood it last time was that, like, you guys are basically, like, detectives. Anyway, like, you do more of the investigation rather than typically being, like, the rent-a-cop type. You're just currently Securitas.
I demand we get bad boys to be licensed for this shit.
All right, so quick recap of last session. We didn't actually get a whole lot done, so this may take more than just this session to get through what I had planned around the Olympic Games. Yeah, typical us. Basically, the whole time was just Bion and Niketas dealing with the crowd, and then everyone else managing to make their way through the crowd, and Razdaz absolutely causing the most chaos possible.
I was helping deal with the crowd. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, Cthulhu is now canon in this. So thank you.
I invented Cthulhu, that's all I'm hearing.
Yeah. Definitely invented. Didn't just, like, invite him or anything.
Invented, invited, what's the difference?
Yeah, they both start with an I.
Right.
Brought the first one here. I
Yeah.
invented it.
Exactly. So, the kind of gist of what you guys know so far is someone died during the Olympic Games. Dan, just as a bit of information more for you than anything, we're in Mida, which, if you remember, is where the party met Gil for the first time. It's
That's where my homeboy Elias hangs out.
yeah, and beats up on Tritons.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah,
You do what you gotta do.
it'd be like that. So yeah, Mida is the host of the Olympic Games at this time, and this body had been found, and the only real clues that you guys have gotten so far was there was a bee stinger on the dead person. Bees were seen under the stands, somewhat nearby, and as we ended the last session, a stranger had approached the handful of you who remained and said they know exactly who did it.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. They can tell us so we can get this solved quickly.
Yeah. Wrap that up in the first, 30 seconds, and we'll move on to the next thing.
Greatest detectives ever.
I imagine it's like the other guys.
Are you coming in a cocaine-covered Prius?
Yes.
I'm just laughing.
As the stranger says they know who committed the murder.
Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So, Bion and Niketas, what are you doing in response to this?
I think I'm pretty much ignoring the guy who's talking to us about who says he knows who happened. He's still trying to arrest Razdaz for blatantly summoning a Cthulhu demon from hell and murdering somebody. So I'm still kind of like leaning towards the. All right, I know we have a murder here, but we just witnessed a murder. We should take care of that one too. but I guess I'll put that aside for now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Bion, how do you feel about witnessing this brutal murder by Tentacle?
I'm more worried about the possibility of there being killer bees.
That's right.
I don't know where that stands with the law.
I just want you to know that under the law is no body, no crime.
Well, all I'm saying is bees aren't smart enough to be part of the law.
I mean, that seems legitimate. I think there's
Technically accurate.
I think there's a code about that somewhere.
Did this man have a bee allergy?
The murdered person, or
The dead man.
Can I do like an investigative, like an insight to see if there was any swelling or any type of indication that he had an allergy to these bees?
yeah, I mean, you guys haven't actually like investigated this body in any kind of like thorough manner.
I'm gonna investigate it with a 22.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we investigated it so good.
so to begin with, this is no man.
This is a rat person, right?
Yeah. No, this is a. You said you got a what on your investigation?
A 22.
Okay, so this person seems to be human, but you notice that they have slightly pointed ears. In New Alexandria, elves are pretty unheard of at this point, and so that wouldn't be like the first thing that you think of, but you could roll a history check if you like.
It's really fucking weird that I speak Elvish then.
It's just a language you picked up. You don't know what it is.
I have proficiency history.
I'm gonna make my ears more and more pointed when nobody's looking at.
So, Niketas, would you like to roll history, or do you mention this to Bion at all?
What's my history? Oh, I have a pretty decent history. 16 for history.
Okay. Unfortunately, with a 16, you don't really know much. Like, you've heard stories of elves, but nothing that comes to mind. Like, you still don't really think, oh, this is probably an elf. You're just like, oh, this is some weird-eared person.
The beast thing caused the elongated ears.
Yeah, that is classic symptom.
Can I make a history check to see if I know? Because I'm trained in history.
Sure, and Bion, I'll allow you as well.
I will let them go first.
18.
Okay.
Go for it, Bion.
6.
Ooh, nailed it. It was a 6. That was the number I was looking for.
Perfect. book.
So, with an 18, I'm going to say that you feel like you remember hearing that elves had pointed ears, but you're still not 100% sure that this is definitely an elf. But kind of that comes to mind.
Okay.
Plenty of creatures have pointed ears.
I didn't relay any of that.
Perfect. Okay, so since you guys have ignored this person so far, they just kind of clear their throat like, excuse me, is one of you in charge here?
I said no.
I say yes.
Please step back. This is a crime scene.
Excuse me, I am definitely the one in charge here. My name is Niketas. I'm with the Securitas company. I am the custos of justice for this event, and this is my partner, Bion. You can disregard him. You can talk to me. Who are you? You said you have some connection and know what happened to this crime? Excuse me, sir, you gotta walk around the tape. Walk around the tape.
You see that he's just like walking straight through it, and since it isn't actually, because it's just an illusion, right?
it's a mind illusion.
Yeah. So since it's just an illusion, like as he walks through it, it just dissipates.
Blows my mind. Who is this guy?
It's magic.
He's just breaking all of your spells. Some kind of high-level wizard.
That's very suspicious.
Obviously, he did
who
it.
could break it like that? Killer bees.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask him, what is your relation to the deceased? Do you know what happened here?
So, this person is a hobgoblin. So this large, hairy figure walks through your imaginary tape, your caution tape, and says, "My name is Stolos, and Iola was my friend."
What was your name? I'm sorry.
Stolos?
Stolas. Okay.
That sounds made up.
And this is your friend? You say, well, I'm sorry for your loss.
Good question.
I think. What do you know? Was your friend involved in anything that you need to be aware of?
So he says, well, she had been mentioning this shady character who'd been following her. And I kept telling her that she needed to report it to the Securitas. And she wouldn't do it.
I would like to butt in right now, please.
Go
No
for
pun
it.
If that is your real name. You're a person of interest right now. By the book of the law. I need to know. Your dead friend here, the one laying on the ground dead, were they allergic to bees? Do you know?
It never came up in conversation. I don't know.
Yes. Okay.
Suspicious.
Not allergic.
And I write in my notebook, unknown allergy to bees.
Perfect. You guys are in synchrony.
It's my favorite murder mystery ever.
Do I see both of them having their writing pads out together?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
They
gonna pull
make a
out-
big deal out of it.
I'm gonna pull out my writing pad and pretend to write
Well,
things
most people
down.
ran away, right? Because somebody was obviously just murdered in front of everybody.
That's
And I'm not talking about the dead body on the ground.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, basically everyone in the party has more or less met, even if you haven't officially introduced each other. So, I mean, all of you are gathered around this body, more or less, now with Stolos standing kind of almost surrounded by you guys. Like, he is on one end of the circle.
Yes.
You said that the person that was stung wasn't. Am I imagining it? It was near a tree, right? Or no?
I'm sorry, you were kind of muffled. I didn't make out all of that.
That's cool. The person whose dead body is here, dead like a body. We were near a tree, right? Is that true, or am I remembering wrong?
I don't remember mentioning a tree specifically. Like, you guys were basically under the stands.
Yeah, with my 22 perception and investigation, I don't recall seeing any trees.
Tree. Okay, thanks. Cool.
Just in highlight and parentheses, I have dead body. Bees working on a hive nearby.
Big bold letters, no tree.
No tree.
That is a very important fact to note.
Bees do typically live in trees.
Well, so it had been mentioned, Kantos had pointed out at least to Razdaz. I can't remember, was it to the whole party or just to Raz?
I think he was just talking to Razdaz, and then Bion was trying to arrest Razdaz, and we were all shouting over each other.
It had been mentioned to Raz that there is not like a nest, but like a small group of bees under the stands above you guys, like 50 or so feet. But it has not been mentioned to the party in general.
I say quite obviously, a bee sting. Yola died by a bee sting. Where can bees be found? I don't see any bees around here at all.
This does not make me think of Dora the Explorer at all.
Do you see the bees?
How many people can we get sued by tonight?
I'm gonna go one.
We're at 5.
And still not say anything.
Can I roll like a perception check to see if I notice her walking away towards it?
Yeah.
I've rolled a 20 dirty for spotting anything out of the norm, which includes them walking towards the bee's nest.
Okay, yeah, so as Raz is kind of walking in that direction, you do notice a few bees, and as you kind of observe where they're going, you see that there's a smallish group of them under the stands, kind of congregating.
You! Get out of the way! Killer bees! And I try to motion her away from the bees. I imagine I cast like another minor illusion. Yeah, it's an at-will. Like a minor illusion that says, like a big sign that says, like, don't go here, like, do not enter. Bees. Bees. Just a sign that says bees.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Does it flash?
Is there a question mark at the end?
It
Yeah.
does flash, but my tape also disappears.
Yeah, there's definitely a big question mark at the end.
Bees? Question mark.
It's part of my investigation. I read that down in my book.
All right, so Raz, how do you respond to this sign appearing?
I will continue to walk.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Like through the sign?
How close am I to the bees at this point?
They're like 50 feet up, so I mean they're a ways from you, but some of them are sort of wandering down.
I would stay a couple feet away from the closest one.
Okay.
So I don't know how close that brings me.
I mean they're staying up a little ways. They seem to be
Okay.
attracted to something up there.
Gotcha, okay.
I think at this point, Niketas has put 2 and 2 together that this Yola female that died, who may or may not be an elf, but I don't know what an elf is dead, has a bee sting. I know now that there is a bee congregation happening under the stands. And I guess I can put a correlation together that they got too close to the bees, got stung, and died. I don't know if there's any signs of malicious intent, but I want to walk over to the bees and see if I can investigate to see if anything is unusual about the hive that's there, and
So-
kind of locate the bee in question that's missing a stinger.
So roll just like a general intelligence check for me.
Intelligence, that's the thing I have. Okay. Dirty 20.
Okay. So
17 plus 3.
So you know that generally bees die whenever they sting someone. So if you were to locate said bee, it would be deceased somewhere. And since there was a pretty big crowd, the chances are it's not going to be found at this point.
Alright, I write that off as a not gonna find.
Rest in peace to the bee.
Yep. I'm more concerned about the death of the bee now.
So, Bion, or I mean anybody who's still in the area is welcome to roll an insight check. Well, Raz, you wandered off, so I'm not including you.
Oh, you're right. Well, I'm near where he is, near his sign, so.
Yeah.
At 25.
Okay.
That is a natty 1.
Off to a good start.
You know what, though? I mean, I've been more indifferent the whole time. I'm just like, it's a dead body. I've seen it before,
yeah.
you know?
Tim, what'd you say? I'm sorry. Tim, I don't know what you said.
Oh, I just said whoever was fell into the bees with the natural one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I guess I fall into the bees. See you guys.
You fall up. Gravity just reverses for you specifically.
Yep, all the karma's catching up to me.
Bion, were you rolling or not?
Oh, yes, right,
Yeah.
correct.
I wasn't sure if you heard me. I had said that you or anyone who was still. You got a what?
An 8.
I will let you roll with advantage since you are a detective.
Look out.
Watch it be a 7.
10, actually.
Man, you are made for this job.
I'm about to retire these fucking purple dice, I swear.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the other guys.
He's too old for this shit. Alright, so did you roll or...
Well, my passive insight's 15. Can I go with that instead of my
I mean,
roll?
you can. I just...
Yeah, because I got a 12.
So, I'm gonna let the high roller, the 25, Demos, say, you want to know more about this dude who is telling you about this shady character who was following his friend who is dead. Because that just strikes you as important, and everyone else has kind of already written that off.
So I'm not gonna tell them yet, but I'm gonna walk over to the guy.
That's funny.
I don't trust him.
Right.
So what's your relationship with the deceased?
So
I'm trying to imitate a detective because I am clearly not a detective.
Right.
I'm an orange lizard.
You're orange?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You did mention.
You are a fucking charmer.
Do I notice this person imitating a detective? Oh no.
What's your passive perception?
That's a great question. Bob. Where's that at on my sheet?
Yes.
Understanding throws?
Yeah, understanding throws if you're using Beyond.
Yeah, you do notice that this lizard folk is trying to seem official. You don't know specifically a detective, but it seems like they're trying to act like someone they're not, for sure.
That seems suspicious.
Suspicious.
Bion are on the same page. And the group we're with, someone did it.
Also,
It was one
not
of you
only is
all
it
along.
suspicious, it's also quite illegal. By
But-
the book.
Stop. You violated the law.
But you don't know specifically that it's a detective. You just know that they seem to be imitating someone. You can't tell if it's just for
I would like to
funsies or...
perceive their conversation.
Okay, so you're paying attention to all this going on.
Yes.
So, go ahead. You were asking questions. So
how are you related to the deceased?
yeah, so he says, well, again, since none of you seem to have heard me the first time, my name is Stolos, and Iola was my friend. And we had been talking about this person who'd been stalking her, and she wouldn't report this to the Securitas. I can see why now. It makes so much more sense.
I'm gonna stop you right there, buddy. You're not the one stalking her, you promise?
I would know.
I wouldn't know.
I can see that.
That's why I'm asking.
He
That's
says,
the first test.
And then I'm gonna look at him and lean in really close and be like, do you know where a guy can get a good drink around here?
he says, I don't know. My friend just died.
So it sounds like you need a drink.
He says, you know what? Never mind. You guys are no help. And he just starts to walk off.
Bye,
You are a
Stolas.
person of interest, as my friend Bion has already previously stated. You need to come back with us.
I go over to
may be
you.
under arrest for murder, I think. Maybe. Potentially. I don't actually know the law as well as I say I do.
Try to leave scene.
Oh, that's a crime, my buddy. My friend Bion and I finally agree on something.
Listen here, pal. You just just jumped right to the top of my suspicious list.
If you want to get off it, you tell us a little bit more about this shady character that's been following your friend. Is it you?
He says, "Oh, now you guys care. Now that I talked to this weird orange guy, now you care." And he just looks over.
Oh, well, they gotta be orange.
There's no need to bring the lizard person's color into this, sir.
So he looks over at Vaso and says, "You know, you're the only one who seems to be halfway normal here. Can you help me?"
I am also offended.
Well, I lost pretty much the equivalent of an intern here, so I mean, everything you just said. You showed up and that's what you found. You know, nothing else.
Well, so
yeah,
you would know that this body was found by someone else. Like,
No, yeah.
you know, you guys heard the scream, and then the crowd kind of came over as Niketas and Bion barely beat the crowd there. Especially Bion was struggling a little bit with getting there on time. But yeah, it was clearly a more female-sounding scream, and Stolos has a deeper voice, so you're pretty sure he wasn't the one who found the body.
Okay. Well, I will just say, had you guys been, this is clearly a fun day here, you know. We've been, everyone's been enjoying themselves, drinking merrily, watching some fun games. You guys talk with anybody to make some, bets or any partied up at all?
He says, "We're both athletes. We're here for the games."
Well, somebody maybe come up and talk to you and say, "Hey, maybe you need to not win this one."
He says, "You know what? No, forget this. All of you are incompetent." And he just starts to walk away, and
You're under arrest. You're under arrest. He's walking away with the crime. Get him.
I'm getting it. What are we doing?
I toss handcuffs. Or manacles. Or manicuffs, whatever they're called.
It's gonna be dexterity. What the fuck? I only have a 5.
Yeah, I respect him. Even if he is a part of it, he didn't want to talk. That's the biggest thing.
Okay, so Bion, are you?
I cast hold person on him.
Okay. What does he have to get to resist?
Wisdom saving throw of 14 or higher.
Ooh, he rolled an 18 on the dice.
Alright, well, he's gonna just keep walking then. I did all I can do. He's just gonna keep doing his thing.
Yeah, he just kind of shrugs it off and continues walking.
I'm gonna tackle him.
Your physical approach, I like it.
All right. Yeah. Roll your dexterity.
Oh shit.
Man, I'm really liking I'm not getting tackled and all this bullshit. Except for the scummy shit that I just did to this lizard earlier.
Yeah, you're like, man.
I'm just enjoying myself now.
You're like, it's great being on the outside of this.
Oh, man.
I'm very proud of that 20.
And now I'm sad.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Natural 20 in like 16 years. This is amazing. This is the best day of my life, almost.
Wait, you rolled a nat 20?
Almost. Yeah. I just
Nice.
rolled 20 right here on the purple dice.
So, Bion, as you just charge at this bugbear who towers above you and manage to just grab his ankles and pull him down to the ground, what do you do?
I want to grapple him and hold him up and any way I can tie him up or anything?
Well, I mean, I
give him
believe...
manacles.
Yeah, Niketas was tossing manacles at you.
Yes, let's manacle him.
Okay.
I say, actually, I'm super proficient in dexterity, actually. Hold on. Can I roll to put them on him?
Yeah. So you toss them and then take them back immediately?
Oh, shit, I rolled a 23 to put the manacles on him.
Oh, he's so manacled.
19 plus 4.
We're going to take
What
him
do you
back
call
to the dungeon.
super manifold?
Yeah, Niketas, I mean, if you see this differently, feel free to say so, but I just am picturing with your 23 that you, like, overhand toss these manacles to Bion, but instead of him actually catching them, you just immediately start running, and you're like the quarterback who catches his own pass.
Man, what sort of top legion shit is this? It's just a dead girl. Chill.
I'll take care of it myself. and I just catching myself and just quickly manacle a hobgoblin named Stolas, who obviously did it.
Congratulations, you got the murderer. You did it.
Says the voice in the sky. I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah.
No, I honestly don't think Niketas would think he did it, but Niketas definitely knows that he knows more than he's letting on, and he's definitely a person of interest. Not because he thinks he did it, but because he knows more information that can lead us to who did.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we want to lead him back in. Well, this guy definitely tried to walk away from seeing him crying. Definitely a person of interest. I think it's in our best interest as a group to take him aside and interrogate him properly without him having.
Did somebody say interrogation?
Interrogation. Yep.
Yeah. So as you're relating this to Bion, it's overheard by the others, and one in particular is very excited by this prospect.
Ooh, I have not snipped off fingers in a long time.
Bion, you definitely hear that.
I'm all about it.
All right, let's get it going. She's up for it too. That's 3 votes right there for already chopping off fingers. I'm already voting to chop off 3 right now.
I mean, I think of anyone, Raz is the least likely to be opposed to any kind of violence, since that's immediately the answer she jumped to already.
I'm not
She
opposed.
murdered somebody. Like, she is the known murderer here in the entire group. Like, Niketas is not gonna let that go. He keeps writing in his journal, like, remember, like, at the end of this, you gotta deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
too. Like, that was witness murder.
I'm gonna try and steal it and rip pages out.
Yeah, it's just like Mufasa's voice in your head, like, remember. Every time that you look at Raz. Alright, so you guys have arrested this semi-non-perp.
Yep, and I cast a minor illusion of a. You gotta go with me on this one. I'm creating with my minor illusion, definitely expanding on the abilities of minor illusion a little bit. A tent around the corpse.
Okay.
I take a chair, probably like a stadium chair, and I set it down, and a minor illusion, a lamp, or a light, and it's like really bright in their face, and they're sitting on the chair with their hands manacled behind their back, and I like minor illusion sweat dripping down their face.
So.
and Bion and I, actually everybody is inside of this tent, looking super menacingly at Stolas, ready to interrogate him.
So, Niketas, I do love that. I would like you to roll an Arcana to see how successful you are, but I will let you roll with advantage.
You know I got a +6 to Arcana, which means my first one's a 16, my second one is also a 16.
Okay, so with a 16, I mean, it's a minor illusion, and it's nothing like you said, it is expanding a little bit, but it's not so far-fetched that I think it would be a super high DC, so I will allow it.
Cool. Alright, so we're in like a private investigative room, really dim inside, just a spotlight on his face, and we say, "Who sent you?"
He's like,
Before he has time to respond, I said, "When do we chop off his fingers?"
Wait. Well, let me answer first.
he's like, wait.
Is there a table for me to throw?
I minor illusion a chair or a table you can throw.
Perfect.
Bion just RKOs out of nowhere.
You're goddamn right.
Watch out.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so he just nervously looks around and is like, look, I need my fingers. They're kind of important. No one sent me. I came here on my own. I'm an athlete, like I said. And
Oh, so you're alone and no alibi. Sorry, bud. Fingers are coming off.
he's like, I was at competition. I just found out and I came as soon as I could.
Great excuse.
You can ask the judges.
All right.
Wait. Who told you about the murder?
If they start getting into this, I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts on Like once they start asking serious questions.
You said on him, on Stolas?
On the guy we're interrogating.
Okay. I can't remember. Does he get like a DC to resist or anything?
Wisdom's 16?
Okay.
I'm just happily sharpening my hand axe in the background, just be like, I'm ready. Let's do this. I'm ready. Let's go.
So let me just start by saying, Amanda, these are your dice that I'm using. So you are to blame for any rolls. I rolled an 18 again.
Alright, well, you're not getting any more dice from me, so that's fine.
Perfect. That was the goal, right? To lose
I'm
all
sure
benefits.
There's a situation when you buy dice from me that you're not allowed to use them against me, so...
It's in the bylaws.
Yeah.
Does the dead body still have a mouth?
Yes.
Okay, there was a lot of ways that could have gone.
Hey, Rick, just on the side, I have an ability called Portent, and I didn't previously roll 2 rolls that I can use in the future whenever I want. Just want to let you know my 2 rolls are a 16 and a 17.
Oh, damn. Okay. That is super
Which
helpful
sucks,
for you.
'cause I would like to have a low one, but
Right.
yeah, 16 and 17 is my 2 portents for my day.
Yeah, and I appreciate you letting me know. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be helpful for you at some point. Not so much for getting an NPC to do stuff, but that's okay.
Yeah, we'll hold on to that.
Amanda, I think you were saying something. Oh, you were casting Detect Thoughts. That's right.
Yeah, so I think that I still learn his surface thoughts, but I can't probe deeper
Sure.
because he succeeded in my wisdom throw, and he'll know that I was looking. But I do get to learn his surface thoughts from the spell.
Okay, so he knows, though, that someone is, like, probing into his thoughts?
He'll know after I find out, like, his surface thoughts. So I get to hear his surface thoughts, and then on the next round I can probe deeper. But since he won this, passed the wisdom check, then he'll know, and the spell fails.
Okay, he's, like, just thinking to himself, man, I have got to talk my way out of this because I really need my fingers. And he's thinking about how he got 4th place in archery, and if he loses his fingers, there's no way he can ever do better than that. And he's just really upset about losing his friend.
Okay. I do relay that information.
Okay.
So, guys, I don't think... I mean, I know you guys don't actually think he did it, but I'm quite sure he didn't do it and doesn't know who did.
Does he want to talk to his dead friend?
Oh?
He's like, I mean, if she could come back from the dead, of course. This is my friend we're talking about, but
I think that was the question.
to talk to, like, her dead body? No. That's just weird.
Like, closure?
What if I could let her talk to you?
He's like, that sounds really fucked up, and I don't want to get on the bad side of Hades or Thanatos.
Are you scared? Are you scared that she'll say that you killed her?
No, I'm really just kind of scared that Thanatos will take all of us.
That seems fair.
I'm gonna pace around the tent over by the dead body and act like I'm gonna cast Speak with the Dead.
Okay.
Which means I have to burn incense, and I probably don't have any, but, you know, he doesn't have that.
No, I mean, you could have incense.
Cool. I'm gonna start burning it then.
Okay. Anybody else?
I want to walk over to the dead body and just, like, look at it for a little while.
Okay.
Try to see if there's anything more than a bee sting that I can see.
Okay.
Or see if there's anything weird in their pockets either.
Yeah, roll an investigation.
That's not good. 10.
Okay. So you know that chitons don't typically have pockets,
Mm-hmm.
but in their little pouch, their purse that they carry, there's just a few gold and nothing else of note.
I want to take the gold.
What was Niketas's passive?
perception is 17.
Jesus.
I got a 21.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Wait,
so-
sorry, you have a passive perception of 21?
No. Shit, what was...
Demos.
Demos, yes. Demos was doing something that you did not see with your passive. So don't worry about it.
I won't.
What are you?
Perfect.
What are you, a cop?
Maybe.
All right. So, yeah, as you pocket that, Contos, you haven't done anything in a while. Would you like to?
Who?
C, talking to Contos.
Yeah, I hear him, well, when Razdaz shares his thoughts with us, I think to myself, he got 4th place in archery. I need to see a guide about a bet collection. Put that back in my mind. And then I also think, this guy's made me some money. So I think I'm gonna be inclined to help him, even though in this chaotic situation that we have found ourselves in.
Which guy specifically made you money? What do you mean?
Ooh, Stolos? Stolos? Yes, he's an archer in the competition, so I bet on him previously.
Okay.
He made me some money.
Gotcha. I just wasn't following that, so I got it now. Yeah, okay.
Do you say that out loud, or is that quiet? Did Bion hear that?
I think that was...
I was thinking that to myself, so I think that I'm gonna be interested in helping this guy. So I, while everyone else is distracted, just outright ask him, who was following your friends, and why were you worried about them?
He's like, well, wouldn't you be worried if your friend was being stalked by some creepy person in black?
Person in black, is there any other details that you have?
I mean, I never saw them.
You just saw a person in black following them, or she told you?
She told me. I never saw this person. But she was really worried about it. She just didn't trust the Securitas, you know.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Fuck
the
there's about 1
police.
million people at this event, and there's only 2 security guards. Or about 1.5 million people.
We could have protected you. We could have protected you for a much better price.
Yeah. Yeah, there are no shady dealings going on right now. Sure. Thanks. He kind of ignores all of the comments and was like, "Can I please go? You guys know I didn't do this. This is my friend."
So, I will ask one more time, or maybe for the first time. What other information can you give us that would give us a lead into who did this? Right now, you are the person of interest. If I were to tell you that if you are found guilty, you will die, what will you say to get out of it?
He's like, "I didn't do it. I don't know who did.
He
Probably."
He said the one thing. He's free. He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
He's like, I said that like 10 times as he's just walking away, waiting for you guys to unmanacle him.
I won't.
You might have said this, but what event were y'all in?
Well, he had said that he was an archer. But are you asking about his friend?
Yeah, what about the friend?
Okay. So he mentions that his friend was a swimmer.
I can swim.
A swimmer?
Yeah.
Bees don't go in the water.
Bees can't swim. This is true.
Astute observation, my dear friend Bion.
That is a law.
Swimmers are, in fact, allowed out of the water.
No, that is not true. That is illegal.
Oh, this is my good.
Good point.
I write that down in my notebook as well.
That swimmers can never leave the
Swimmers
water.
cannot leave the water.
What were you gonna say?
Stop what I said.
I do want to ask.
You look like you were gonna say something.
Can I ask you,
No.
Stolas?
I don't think so.
I understand that there's a person in black who's been stalking your friend. Do you have any other information that could help lead us to that person? Right now, your only alibi and saving grace is us finding that person, so it's in your best interest to tell us everything you know.
He's like, well, we've been staying at the vineyard where most of the other Olympians have been staying, so maybe check out there?
Okay. I will consider that. I write that in my notebook. The vineyard where many people stay.
This vineyard where many people stay. They have wine.
He just glares at you. Like, doesn't even say anything. He just glares.
I believe we should check out this vineyard. It sounds most suspicious.
I agree. I could use some wine. I mean, I could use some truth.
I
Yeah.
hear wine and I'm there.
How about
We
this?
must find justice.
How about this? Who's aside from your friend there? Who's kind of your rival who you're trying to go up against? I thought I had an idea. I thought he might be the one who would have won that event.
He's like, can I go? Am I under arrest or can I please leave?
Why are you avoiding that question? Did he beat you?
He says, I already told you I got 4th place. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
well, still, did your a rival that you've known for a while beat you?
And he walks over to Niketas and says, please let me go.
I mean, I checked my rule book and see that I have nothing else that's like keeping him here. He said he didn't do it. I have to trust that he's telling me the truth.
Hold on. I have one more question for...
Hey, isn't it against the law to hold people when you're not charging them?
Alright, Stolos. If that is your real name.
It is.
I have one last question for you before I release those manacles.
And he just stares at you blankly.
Have you ever been a beekeeper?
He just rolls his eyes and says, I don't even like bees.
He's not guilty, guys. He doesn't even like bees.
I follow that logic. He must be set free. I release him from the manacles.
Thank you for your time, sir. I'm going to go ahead and remove you from my list of suspects.
Yeah, I apologize. Please leave us a 5-star review on the Securitas Google Play app.
Recommend on Yelp.
Not
So,
my...
as you unmanacle him, like, before you even have him fully undone, he's already starting to walk away. And he just, again, walks right through this illusion and breaks everything. He just breaks this spell as you guys are thrust back into the bright sunlight.
I'm a little upset.
Oh no, Niketas. I need you to chill.
I choose to chill.
Yeah, not because he asked you to. You chose that on your own.
One more thing.
Yeah. So, okay, Bion, you vote to follow this guy?
Yes, but probably not me because I'm not very sneaky. And I would really like to go to the vineyard and check out what's going on there.
Yeah.
I am proficient in stealth. While as much as I would love to go to the vineyard, I did get a... Can I roll an insight check on the dealings with Stolas to see if they were being truthful or if they were hiding anything?
So I will first of all say, like, roll your insight to see, because, I mean, you kind of just took Raz's word for it, but they didn't really explain. Well, they didn't really explain how they...
I rolled a 4, but I will actually use my portent and make that a 19.
Okay. So, with your 19, you're pretty sure that Raz had used some kind of magic to know a little bit more about what was going on. So, Raz probably could answer that better than you could yourself.
Raz,
Yes.
tell me the truth now. Can we trust this character, or were you only acting in your best interest financially?
I don't even care about money, and also, I was only able to pick up on his surface level thoughts, but it seemed pretty honest. He was thinking about his archery, not wanting to lose his fingers, and that his friend had died, and that he wanted to know who did it too.
If you had to answer this question, is he cool peoples? Would you say yes or no?
I would not answer that about almost anyone here.
Right, yes. Gotcha. Thank you so much for your help in this investigation.
And in the sake of justice, I will write no.
That is beautiful.
Cool people.
I wrote totally cool people.
Put a star next to it.
I'm going to need a copy of these journals.
I know that we categorically have 0 other suspects.
I think bees did it.
I have a suspect that it was a bee.
Oh yes, the damn bees.
Yes, but the way the body died, I think it was a planted bee, just due to the distance between the bee farm and the dead body.
It was not that far away. It was within 7.
Okay. I don't have an answer to that.
What if the body was blind and couldn't see the bee? Then it's very far away.
Regardless, there is a stalker in this, and we have to protect this dead body from the stalker because we do not know their intentions with this person.
Speaking of, are we near the dead body right now?
We're still in the tent with the dead body.
Oh,
I believe we're standing right next to said dead body. I can cast Speak to Dead and probably figure out.
that's probably a thing that we should.
Actually, you know what? That's actually a thing we should consider doing. Niketas is like, you can do that? Not knowing what you can do.
Well, I've been, as metagaming, if you will, I've been struggling with what a cleric, the way that I'm playing Bion, would he cast
Absolutely. Bion would.
necromancy spell?
Yeah, Bion. See, necromancy in itself isn't illegal. Bion would do whatever it takes to find legally what happened from an investigation exception. And Niketas would also support that as long as you're not abusing that power.
Fair.
Or the body.
Fair.
Yeah, don't abuse the body. That is definitely illegal.
Well, the body still has a mouth.
Let's
If you can
table
see
that one.
context, your
Because
sense.
it literally says, when you cast a spell, it literally says the corpse must still have a mouth. So it's
So it can
it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have a
But to
mouth.
be fair, your sentence doesn't say to cast this spell
Right.
to speak with them when we have a mouth. You say, does this corpse have a mouth?
Yeah, without that context, your continued comment is just extremely concerning. But
Right, without it, you're just like, hey guys, quick question. Does this corpse have a mouth?
No. Does the corpse have a mouth? That's what's important.
Yeah. Also, do these tentacles have a mouth? Does that weird thing over there have a mouth?
I forgot for one moment that Razdaz did kill that person. Who was close. Who was a close friend of.
Have I had an opportunity to rip any pages out of his notebook yet?
Roll a sleight of hand.
Yeah, please do that. My passive perception is 17.
But Raz doesn't know that.
Sweet, I got a 12.
So,
I catch you and I stop you.
yeah, you're reaching for it. And, I mean, again, Tim, if you disagree with this, feel free to step in. But I just imagine Niketas smacking you with the notebook.
That's exactly what I imagined would happen.
I don't know.
I just say, listen, I just want to see what you've got written down so I can try to help with this case.
I think Niketas would, because he's spiteful, would let them pull a page from his book and then arrest them for doing so.
He'd be within the rights of the law.
But I think about less second and just smack their hand away.
Okay. So, as all of this is going down, Bion, you hear from the pouch that you carry on your side the sound of a lyre.
Somebody lying?
No, like the musical instrument, a lyre.
A guitar.
Yeah.
Hey, did you think you're...
Yes.
So, as you hear this, you recognize, I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but the ringtone, the like traditional iPhone ringtone, you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the like, whatever drum thing it is. Yeah, you hear basically that, but a lyre version of that.
Amazing.
Okay.
Which you know means you have a message.
Like, Texas? I'm just gonna look at him like, what?
I'm so confused about what's going on right now. I have a cell phone on an ancient Greece Rome area time thing?
I mean, it's not a cell phone. Are you gonna check out this lyre?
Everybody hold on. I've got a notification coming through from Big Guns upstairs. I whip out my handy-dandy BlackBerry to see what's in there.
So, as you open your bag, there is a quartz stone, like this smooth, polished. Yeah, I mean, we'll say it's roughly in the shape of a BlackBerry, minus the keypad or anything. So that like sort of rectangular, rounded off end, just piece of white quartz. And as you pull this out, the sound ends, and you see Star Wars style, like whenever there's a video message from someone, that this face appears.
Are the rest of us seeing this crap too, or
Oh,
is
yeah.
it just?
First off, I just want to interject real quick and say I have never in my entire life seen a rectangle BlackBerry, and that is now a goal of mine. Unless you mean the BlackBerry phone, in which case that makes way more sense.
I'm pretty
Wait.
sure that is what they're saying, yeah.
Because I was picturing an actual BlackBerry.
Oh no, I meant like the phone. I meant like the
I
phone.
was so confused. I'm like, what kind of BlackBerries is Rick fucking munching on?
So you need to realize something that the modern day BlackBerry phone of the 2000 era was actually based on the ancient Greece BlackBerry messenger stone.
Yeah, made of quartz.
On the rectangle.
Yeah.
That would make so much more sense, yes.
The more you know.
Okay, so you recognize as the face and like upper torso of this Aarakocra appears that this is basically like the chief of police, or maybe even like the DA of ancient Greece for you guys. His name is Telamon.
Immediately, I just try to hide my face a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, maybe go over here for a sec.
I'm gonna like turn my back and go over to him and be like, "You're scary, but drinks sound good now, huh?"
Oh my god.
Oh
Yes.
no, I ain't scared, but
The ultimate
No, you're
Digimon.
scary.
One thing you need to know that we know that Telamon is an ultimate Digimon monster
Yeah,
and is also the chief of police, and he's a Birdman.
yeah, obviously. Digimon, how'd you know?
You didn't hear the song?
No, that was one of the bits that I actually did hear.
I want this guy to look like Harvey Birdman.
Well, so the thing is, he is an Aarakocra, so he has that like look that you see in all of the different books of them. But as this image appears, the voice says, "Now, Bion, I know that you and Niketas are hard at work, but I've received unfortunate news that a friend of mine has been murdered, and I need you to report on that immediately."
Murder?
And
Yes, was your friend a low-life criminal who happened to associate with the human barbarian criminal known as Bassoveris? Because if so, yes, I can report that murder. I have the culprit in custody now.
The fuck you do?
As the sorcerer changeling.
No.
Or was your friend an Olympic champion swimmer?
so
May or may not have been allergic to bees.
Which of the two?
So, both of you know that this is not a two-way conversation. This is a recorded message, and it starts to repeat again and says, Now Bion.
This is a spring phone. This isn't a BlackBerry.
Yeah, it's actually a track phone.
Fucking Nokia.
I could still cast Speak to the Dead and ask body with the...
Yeah, can we do that, please?
That's a real thing. It's a real thing we should do.
Okay.
Also, we gotta go, man.
Do this real quick, and then we'll go. You'll go.
Yeah, I mean, even I will admit, as your partner, that the more information we bring back, the better.
Okay, Rick, how do I cast Speak with the Dead?
So, I want you to roleplay for me. I want you to describe what Bion does specifically to reanimate this corpse briefly to have this conversation.
Gasso also turns back around once he realizes it was a
Now
recording.
to add to
Same.
the roleplay of this, I will also cast Bardic Inspiration to assist with whatever he's doing. I'm also doing to let him know he's not alone in whatever the hell it is he's doing.
Okay.
To inspire him.
First of all, this feels very uncomfortable to buy on.
It is very comfortable to Niketas.
Alright, so first off, I'm gonna put little trays of incense all around the dead body, like 4 corners.
Okay.
Okay? I'm gonna light each one in sequence, but it's gonna be like, I'm gonna go top left, bottom right, bottom left, top right. So it's kind of like a backwards X thing that I'm gonna light here.
Yeah.
So I know that he did it wrong, so as he's doing it, I stop him out and relight them.
Yeah, and I was actually about to say, like, real quick, Niketas, like, when you say that you're doing the same thing, like, for clarification, but that's perfect, that you're just going and snuffing out his incense and then redoing
Like, I'm
it.
fixing his mistakes.
Okay. Niketas, can you roll a sleight of hand check for me?
Oh no.
If you fuck this up,
If only I was proficient in this. Actually, 18 plus 220.
Okay. Yeah, Bion, you do not notice. You are so focused on casting this spell that you are not even paying attention.
I'm really tying into the fact that dwarves really respect the dead here, so I'm trying to be super careful with what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm
So
not.
I'm like tiptoeing around the body, and I'm making like religious symbols in the air with my hands. And I'm
just
like,
nit and gritty, just fixing what he fucked up.
Yeah. I imagine Niketas, like, accidentally kicks the body 3 or 4 times.
by law, dead body, you must awaken and speak with me. That is the law of this spell. I am burning the incense in the order that you require. Release your grip on this body, Death, and let me speak to them with their mouth.
You hear a voice that you've heard before. This is not the first time you've cast this. And says, "Now, Bion, you know who this is. Thanatos. Come on. You have to tell me what law you're quoting in order for me to release their soul."
Otherwise, it's entrapment.
No, but this is unlawful death. And we are invoking the law to give the dead party a chance to explain what happened and hold the accountable party responsible.
This poor soul's life was ended before its time, maybe. I'm not sure. This spell is ordained by my god, whose name I can't remember right now.
Astrea.
Astrea. I am allowed to speak with this dead person. It is outside of your jurisdiction, Thanatos. Once I'm done, I get 5 questions, and once I'm done, you can have her back.
So,
When I get those 5 questions, Section D of Article 17 of Speak with the Dead in the Cleric Code states, purely and obviously, I can do this, you can't stop me.
I second that. I pull out my book as well and verify.
okay, so yeah, with the verification after Niketas confirms, he kind of you sense that this disembodied spirit is just looking at you, and you hear, "Very well. You remembered. I guess you can have 2 questions.
Nope, 5. That's the law.
3. Final offer.
5.
I read the page and it says 5.
Oh, very well.
I imagine the Patrick thing. 3. Take it or leave it.
And you hear,
Start.
Oh, I got 7.
you hear, very well. This time, Bion, but next time, I will take your soul.
I wish I'd Bion. That's bullshit. I got to record if he tries to.
Man, I gotta learn it. I gotta learn his negotiation tactics. That's pretty good. A soul for some questions. I like it.
That's kind of spooky a little bit. But you know what? I know by law I'm protected well within my rights. All right. So is she awake or how's that work?
Yeah, so as you feel Thanatos fade away from the remnants of the
Bye, bitch.
from the remnants of the illusory tent, which now is just open air, you see this corpse start to set up, like just elbows beneath it as it leans forward and says, "What happened? Where am I?"
Man, we'll be asking the questions here.
Oh, you wasted your first comment.
No, it's 5 questions.
Yeah, I get 5. I can talk to you as much as I want, but it's 5 questions.
I allow it.
Okay, so first off, I gotta ask the most important question. What race are you?
Oh.
You see that even though, as you know, undead are typically fairly emotionless, this is especially emotionless. As she just says, "It's none of your damn business."
We can find that out somewhere else.
I'm just trying to get the facts here, man. I want to figure out who did this to you and bring them to justice and give you some peace.
Well, I don't see how my race has anything to do with that. Just because you're a dwarf.
Nope, ma'am. I step in here. The race is important because knowing your race will help us understand if there are any.
There are definitely hate groups within this area, and we understand that they target certain races. That's why we need to know your race, man.
Well stated, Byron.
She says, "I still don't think that I really need to answer that. I think that even if I really am dead, I don't have to tell you."
Okay, human with pointy ears. Got it. Move on. Next question.
Perfect. Alright, that's what we'll say. Weird human ears.
Very human. Extra human, even.
Let's start over, man. We got off on the wrong foot here. I'm sorry.
She says, "Well, you still only have 4 questions."
That's fine. I understand.
The weird guy in the robe told me that when I was on my way here, so...
Yeah, he's your lawyer. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's a shitty lawyer.
I understand that you were an Olympic swimmer here at the competition, which is fantastic, but unfortunately, I have to bring you some bad news. Michaelius Feltus actually won the gold, so... Unfortunately, you did not win the gold. It was Michaelius Feltus.
She's like, "That's obviously a made-up name. Next question."
That wasn't a question. Doesn't count. Wasn't a
I'm
question.
just telling you the fact that you lost to your arch rival.
I thought that would work. Well,
It invoked no or honesty at all.
do you know the name Stolos?
Of course I do. He's my best friend.
Well, that checks out. Alright.
She just...
The way you said that, I was gonna say, the way he said that makes me think Stolos did it.
Ask about the person wearing black that's been stalking her.
Stolos told us there's a person that's been wearing black that has been stalking you. Do you know who that person is?
She says, "No, if I knew who they were, it wouldn't be a problem. I would just go talk to them."
She doesn't know anything.
Especially anything over here.
I don't know what else to ask.
Ask if she's allergic to
do
bees.
you have any known rivalries with any other race or class of people?
Have you pissed anybody off, like a rival or a person that maybe bet on you to win, but then you lost to Michaelius Philbus?
So she says, hold on. There have been 3 different questions. So those are your last 3 questions. And points. And hold on. No. Hold on.
Let's consolidate it into one question.
It's one question by law.
So there were 3 different people who asked questions. And she looks...
Yes, only the summoner of the Speak from Dead spell can ask the question.
So she looks straight at Demos. So she looks straight at Demos and says, I want to talk to the lizard. The lizard is my lawyer now.
My eyes get super wide, and I'm like,
She
oh,
called for a legal
like rifling
counsel.
through my notes. It's been a long time since law school.
Alright, Demos, please.
I just want to know if she's allergic to bees. Are you allergic to bees?
She says, I don't think so. I don't know.
I was right. She was not allergic to bees.
So it looks like
It is no, in fact, she did not know she was allergic to the bees, but in fact, she is allergic to the bees.
so it looks like you got stung by a bee and then you died. So that's what we know. Anything you could tell us would help, but we're out of questions.
Why a bee would have stung you. But I'm not asking you why a bee would have stung you. I'm just saying that's what we're trying to figure out is why a bee would sting you and kill you for no apparent reason.
Without asking a question, I will preface this by saying, you were killed by unknown circumstances that you have information that can help us solve your crime. Wouldn't you want us to find out what happened with any information you have that may prevent the death of others, such as your friend, Stolas?
So, Bion, would you roll an Arcana check for me? And I will let you roll with advantage.
Well, it didn't matter because they were both garbage. One was a 7 and one was an 8, and then I add in, where did my character sheet go? That would probably be important to know.
No, overrated. Character
Wait,
sheets
you're
are...
right. Wait, no, wait, you're right. I ported that to be a 16.
Okay, yeah. So that would be your second portent of the day. Do you add anything to that, Dan?
I was just going to say I have a 13.
Maybe
Oh.
you have a 16 plus whatever.
Yeah.
What was this? What was the check?
Arcana.
Yeah.
Arcana. So that would be intelligence. I don't know what your intelligence is.
Oh, I got a +2 to intelligence.
So maybe proficiency.
Yeah, I mean, are you proficient in intelligence checks?
I'm proficient in Arcana.
Okay,
There you go.
perfect,
So
yeah.
that's a +5. So he's got a 23.
Okay, so with your 23, you really lean into this spell and are able to suddenly see through what you can only assume are the eyes of the victim. And you just see that they're walking away, like drying off, apparently after their last event, and everything suddenly goes black.
That was a waste of a portent, if I say so.
Or was it?
What did they see in front of them?
Nothing. I mean, they didn't see anything that stood out, so clearly this person does not know who or why they were killed.
Is it possible that this was literally just a bee thing? Guys,
In black.
I think that's where my judgment is ultimately lying. This is just an act of fate. God said, your turn to die, and stung you with a bee.
So we're gonna disregard the apparently a shady figure.
The stalker.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't ignore a stalker.
are there any more questions? Can we find out anything about this stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
That's fine.
technically you guys have at least 2 more.
Well, since the DM says technically, that makes it law.
according to Dungeon Master's Guide, page something or other.
So I want to ask Bion, so what we know so far is that their race is unknown. Their best friends would stole us. They don't know who their stalker is, and the lizard is their new lawyer. And then they may or may not be allergic to bees. And seeing through the eyes of the victim, they finish their performance, and then their vision went black.
Well, so unless Bion related that, no one else knows that.
I'm relaying that right now.
Okay.
I was gonna say I can I insightfully like him and I have like a thing.
Oh, you guys have like a
Yeah, we keep enough secrets when it comes to the law.
like a dyad in the Force.
Y'all want to ask where she's from?
Not really.
Is it important? I don't think it's important.
No, she's gonna yell at us
You
again.
can help in discerning her race.
Maybe there's rival factions to where she's from. There can be other, elements to that.
Sure.
Might be interesting. And a lot of people, at least when I've been around, are more than happy to share what grand home they're from. Except if they're abuse victims, but that's a different story.
Niketas' interpretation of this situation is because he's so intelligent, he really does honestly think at this point that this was an honest nature killing, and that the victim was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, got stung by a bee and died, and that the only known killer in this entire situation is Razdaz. Honestly murdered somebody in front of a mass of people who witnessed it. He's shifting his focus a little bit more to that.
Yeah, so Niketas, do you say any of that out loud, or is that all just inner monologue?
How smart am I? I'm pretty smart. I wouldn't say that out loud.
Okay.
Maybe incompetence to Bion only.
Okay.
I'm
So.
definitely gonna say it out loud.
I cannot stop you.
Yeah, legally.
By law.
Yeah, legally, you cannot stop him. So.
Hey, speaking of, didn't you get a call from your boss?
Yeah, he can wait. We're talking to. Yes.
What could our boss want? I think our boss said something about going and visiting them, or going and seeing the main office, or they knew the victim to some degree, and we had to do something with it.
Yes, we have 2 questions, and then we'll move on and we'll go see Commander Bird Guy.
While you ask your
Bird
main
person.
questions,
As Bion and Niketas are kind of having this discussion amongst themselves that everyone can definitely hear, there is a commotion on the other side of the stands. You hear voices starting to raise, and it seems like there's something getting people worked up. Almost like an angry mob starting to form.
We should probably go check that out. But first, Yolos, is there anybody that you would like us to contact and say anything to for you?
Roll a persuasion check. With advantage.
Doesn't matter, I got a 20 on the first roll.
Nice. I mean, what if you roll 2 20s?
Okay, fine. I did not.
I mean, it could be really cool if you did. I might allow something crazy to happen.
It would have been dope.
It would have been. Anyway, so for your second crit of the night, she just suddenly betrays a little bit of emotion. As I mentioned earlier, normally the dead and the undead are pretty emotionless, but you see her eyes betray a little bit of sadness, and she says, "Tell Stolos that I'm sorry."
I will definitely tell Stolos you are sorry.
As you're writing this down and
I'm trying to make sure I remember and be respectful to the dead. Well, if there's nothing else I can do for you, Yolos, you can return to Thanatos.
Yeah, as soon as you say if there's nothing else, you just see that her body collapses suddenly and she's gone. I mean,
guys, in hindsight,
Two
we should have brought her to life while we still had Stolos with us, because maybe she would have been more open to speaking.
man, if only.
If only.
If only. Anyway, let's go check out what this commotion is.
Who all is going to investigate this commotion besides Bion?
I am going to investigate, but if at any point I can slip away from the rest of the group, but still, investigate just a little distance from them, I will do that.
Okay. So.
I would like to see her try with my passive perception.
Fuck, I'm kidding about that.
But technically, Raz doesn't know that, so.
That's true.
But yeah, Tim, you had missed that during the questioning, there's a growing angry mob, basically, off on the other side of the stands that you guys can hear.
Unrelevant.
Yeah, definitely unrelated, as Bion's already mole-walking that direction.
Well, with a 5 dexterity, I've got to get a head start.
Yeah, I mean, 5 dexterity and 25 speed.
Yes. I'm definitely power walking and huffing and puffing through my well-groomed, waxed, and perfectly manicured beard.
Yeah.
My stealth roll to get away from the group is a 7.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah, try the 7 way, Isaac. No, ma'am, please.
Kronk sneaking.
Oh, I just wanted to get a better view on the other side, just to see what's going on.
Oh, well, yeah, I love that, of course.
yeah. As Raz is high-stepping while trying to tiptoe and just saying, yeah, they definitely don't see me.
She's a lot of things, and stealthy is not one of them.
I'm picturing, the Burger King commercials where, he was sneaky back in the day.
I'll allow it.
It's obvious the investigation has to go elsewhere. Does anybody have a burlap sack that we can conceal the body?
Will the bag of holding
I
do?
totally let that body lay in there.
He totally did. He left
Stick the
me fine.
body in the
I just
bag of
bailed the
holding.
fuck out, bro.
I mean, there is a bag of holding in the party.
Does anybody come forth with a bag of holding?
Are you guys sure she's dead?
What? The dead body is definitely dead?
Yeah, Kantos mentions this bag of holding.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should prepare the body for embalming and bring it with us for further investigation later. There is a commotion going on that my partner has already gone to go investigate. I think that we should take the body with us, preserved as best as possible, and proceed to the commotion that my partner has already previously said he's investigating.
I mean, is there anything anyone can do to preserve this body aside from just putting it in a bag?
I mean, I can prestidigitation and
I got some brewer supplies.
dirt.
Yeah, no, none of those things are helpful here. So,
Well, I can sleep it, charm it, or magic missile it. You
I
tell
can,
me
like,
what works
do
in
a-
this
Do a
situation.
medicine check or something.
Acid splash over and over again until it disintegrates.
yeah, none of the above. I mean, maybe the medicine check, but since you probably don't have any tools for, embalming or anything.
No, I don't have embalming tools.
Yeah. So, I mean, realistically, nobody has anything to preserve this body, so...
I do have something.
Okay.
Can I use... I think this is a tool of investigation. Can I make a perfect drawing or artistic drawing of the current status of the body that would capture all of the pertinent details of an investigation?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In my notebook, versus taking the physical body, I can draw like no one else, like Da Vinci.
Whoever that guy is.
Oh, shit. My first low roll a day, 4 plus 9, 13.
Okay.
13's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I try to draw the body and hope that acts as preservation of the current conditions for investigation.
Yeah, I mean, with your 13, you just, the body is fine, the limbs are fine, you get to the hands and the feet, and you just kind of, scribble a
There's
little
scribbles.
bit. Yeah, you're just no, not important.
When I draw the hands and feet, I think of the tentacles from the previous murder. That
Yeah, it gets a little weird.
and my eyes dart to Razdaz.
Raz, you feel his eyes on you.
I say yes.
Nothing. You will
Come on, outside. Go outside.
Oh, already outside. Okay, I will drop the illusion.
They said they're already.
The tent. We are outside again.
Okay.
Our dog's turned down.
You're fine. Okay, so Bion has already made like 50 feet, like 2 turns basically of progress as you guys are discussing this. Are you guys just stuffing this body in this bag, or what are we doing?
I thought he was drawing.
That's what I would like to do. I would like to stuff it into Kanto's bag. If they're willing, of course.
He begrudgingly walks over with the bag, rearranges some contents that are inside so as to not, smother them with the body. Now, since everything is secure, then he is willing. He lays the bag down and lets you scoot it in.
Yeah, I mean, you know that anything perishable is pretty much done for at this point, but everything else.
To clarify that the body is in fact dead.
Right, I mean, in the bag of holding. Anything perishable in the bag of holding.
Of course.
So, is there anyone not going to investigate this commotion?
No, I'll go.
No, I follow. As soon as the body's in the bag,
Sure.
I'm following.
I just wanted to
50 feet
confirm.
behind.
I mean, I definitely went already. I'm already like, Bion is going.
Oh yeah, he gone. Kantos.
I mean, obviously, I have this body in my bag, so I'm going to investigate further.
Yeah.
You are now implicated. You have taken evidence of a murder.
Now you are suspect number 1.
That's why you never trust a cop.
Well, number 3.
Ever.
There are a number of suspects, but let's not deviate from the fact that there is a known murderer among us.
Persian and black.
Razdaz.
Number
No.
Why does that person have a large bag now that looks like dead body shape,
Well, no, I mean, it's a bag of holding, so it stays the same size. It can only
Okay,
hold
well,
so
still.
much, but it stays the same
It's
size.
not like SpongeBob's hat when they killed the health
Yeah.
inspector.
I
So-
wish it was. I really do. I really do.
My notes are so bad, but I know that there, at some point I knew the name of the human barbarian Basovarius' friend who got murdered by the giant tentacle in the
I
demon realm.
think he was unnamed intern number 1.
Yes, I was actually going to say, yes, his name was intern number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't pass initiation. Back to the drawing board. We require 5 years of experience for entry-level internship. Let's go.
But only hire immediately out of school.
Exactly.
That's very fair. He is written down as intern number 1 in my Who Got Murdered book.
Oh, are you interested? Are you interested in the new position? It is open.
I am not. I'm interested in finding out in seeing justice performed for the murder of that individual.
We really do need to find out who did that murder.
You would say that.
Why though?
So,
I mean,
I'm
sure
not a
this
cop.
person ever existed, for being honest.
I watched it happen. They existed.
You watched something. We've also seen plenty of illusions today.
so as all of this conversation is going on, Niketas, you can scope out of like your peripheral that Bion is at what's going on. He's made it there. And you guys are still lagging quite a ways behind.
Well, I guess I just trust that my buddy's going to do what's in the best interest of the investigation and continue on with the party to meet him halfway.
Okay, so Bion, as you reach this crowd, you hear, "Yeah, let's get her. Let's go. Let's get that evil nymph. Let's get her." And you see people lighting torches, grabbing weapons, and starting to group up.
Okay.
I mean, anyone want to place bets? I'm opening the bet here on the Angry Mob. Plus 600 right now. Mainly reason I don't know how good this nymph is.
I'm gonna pour my horn out alcohol out of my pack and take a drink out of it and put it back.
Okay.
Not plus
Like
600 minus 600.
As sneakily as I can,
Okay.
Catch it.
Not very sneakily.
How not very?
Well, hang on.
I'm hanging.
9.
Okay.
Oh, I spot it, but I don't say anything. I'm like thinking it's a secret.
Yeah, and Bion's not around to also notice.
Perfect.
So.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. So the rest of you make your way over to where Bion is, as this crowd is already starting to leave.
Can I cast calm emotions on them so we can try and figure out what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. What is the range or area of effect for that?
Range is 60 feet. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point I choose within range must make a charisma saving throw, or they will be calmed the fuck down.
Okay. I would say make an insight check to see if you can identify sort of a leader.
Okay. 19.
Damn.
Preferably investigation.
So 19 plus 0.
Okay. I mean, 19's still good. Yeah, you kind of scope that there's a couple of people within a little distance of each other who seem to be doing a lot of the organizing, seem to be the most vocal amongst them. What is your DC to resist the calm emotions?
You'll have to bear with me on this one again, because I don't usually do spellcasting classes.
I get it.
So, where do I find that at?
I believe that's also 8 plus your proficiency plus your spellcasting modifier.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. What class are you?
Cleric.
It's
So
wisdom.
it's wisdom. So 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom.
Okay. So my wisdom then is a plus 3, proficiency is plus 3, and then 8 plus those 2?
Yep, so 14.
Yeah, so 14.
Okay. That is a 19 on the dice. On a failed save, it just does nothing, right?
On a failed save, it does nothing.
Okay. I just wanted to check, because I know sometimes it's like a lesser effect. Yeah, if anything, it seems like it almost enrages them more.
Yeah, that fucking checks out.
Like,
Do
hey,
they, when you do calm emotions, does it make them immune to it after that if they succeed?
I don't think it does.
I don't see anything about that.
I wouldn't know that you were trying to do it anyway unless we were right next to each other. So I'm gonna try to do the same thing.
Okay.
It's,
Well, I will have you roll the insight as well first. But if you already rolled,
no, I didn't
anything
roll
else?
for that. So
Okay.
it's 20.
okay,
30, 20.
cool. Yeah. So I mean, you scope the same group of people who seem to be leading this. What is
Okay.
your DC?
Charisma 16.
Okay. All right.
No.
So you managed to. Does it totally calm them? Like they're not upset, or can you remind me of exactly what the wording is?
It's only for a minute. I think it basically makes them indifferent
Yeah, it says it makes them indifferent.
Okay.
to a creature of your choice that it is hostile towards. It's for up to a minute, and then at the end of the spell, it resumes.
Okay.
The effect resumes.
Okay. So you cast the spell, and you notice that sort of the seeming leaders of this mob and the people around them.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's just was unexpected. So the leaders of this apparent mob and the people around them seem to lose steam briefly. Does anyone do anything to try to persuade them?
Can I make it to the leader in time?
I would say, like, are you trying to get to him, like, right to him?
Yeah, I need to get his attention. Because if we can make the leader change his mind before the spell runs out, then maybe the mob will stop.
Yeah. I would say I will let you do a performance, or I don't know what else might work for this. But a check to try to get their attention, and then also a persuasion check if you are successful.
I'd like to assist with the persuasion, if possible.
Okay. So if you can get their attention, then you have advantage on the persuasion.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start like yelling, like trying to get their attention, by order.
Sorry, continue. Go. No. Just no. I was gonna say I was gonna cast sending towards them, but I am concentrating, so I can't.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Where's Niketas at? Is he with us?
I am now.
Yeah. You guys are all together now.
Do you have any like amplified voice things?
I can press it. I don't think prestidigitation does that.
Thaumaturgy.
Yeah, I don't have thaumaturgy.
Okay.
But I mean, I try not to step in too much and give you guys too much advice as a DM. But with prestidigitation, you could do something else that might get their attention, or like slow down the mob in some way.
Yeah, I guess I can make like just a very random, harmless sensory effect, such as shower of sparks. Right, puff of wind that gets their attention, that makes them look your way.
Yeah.
Niketas, get their attention.
I do that.
Okay.
I create a harmless sensory effect to get their attention.
What kind of sensor effect?
A shower of sparks, perhaps.
Okay.
Like fireworks, I guess. Just a really loud boom, maybe. Just something that is very out of the norm, just to make them look that way.
Okay. So, I mean, which one? Like a loud boom or a shower of sparks?
I want to go with a woman's scream.
Okay.
Well, that's completely different.
Hey, I mean,
Everyone will look, okay?
yeah, it worked once already.
Yeah, I got my attention.
So, as you make this woman scream, does it like center on you, or do you cast it somewhere where it would be otherwise?
No, I cast it on to originate from Bion, because he is trying to be the one to investigate the area. So whenever we're looking at him, to make him properly make a judgment call.
Okay, so I mean, what the crowd sees is this dwarf, this very manicured, well-groomed dwarf, who at first seems like he's like yelling, and then they just hear a very womanly scream come from him, and everyone stops, and you hear murmurs like, what was that? Did someone else get killed?
Why did that dwarf with such a nice booty scream like that?
Does that scream sound familiar?
Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears.
They just all throw their ears.
I throw my ears at him.
Oh, there's going to be an advertisement, ain't it?
No, this is us getting sued by Mel Brooks now. So, real quick, before we resolve that, Demos, you had said, does it sound familiar? Were you asking that aloud? Or-
No, I was just thinking that to myself. Like,
Okay.
does that scream sound familiar?
It does not.
Well, I do make it the same scream that I heard when the first body died.
Just kidding. It does.
Okay, perfect. 'Cause I'm gonna, like, bank that in my thought process to, like, learn how to imitate it later.
Okay. Are you, like, kind of half-heartedly mimicking it?
Yeah, kind of, but not, definitely not loud at all.
Right.
Like, almost a whisper.
Yeah.
I go over to my lizard guy over here. I'm just like, hey, do you still see any of the bees, that were kind of congregating at all?
I try to stay away from them. They're not really... I don't like to mess with them.
Do I see the
But
bees still?
do I see them?
You guys are pretty far from where they were gathered.
No, I don't see them.
No,
And then
no,
I
no.
offer him a drink out of my drinking horn. Do you want a drink?
I only drink my own flask. Not that I don't think that yours is good, but it's probably not as strong.
Okay, then I'm gonna drink out of it and then put it back in my pouch.
Okay, so both Niketas and Bion, you definitely notice Demos mimicking this scream, but I imagine it's probably not the first thing you're going to pay attention to right now.
Well, that was fucking weird. Anyway,
Well, it's a lot like my scream. It's not like they're imitating me.
I'm gonna start shouting at the crowd and trying to figure out what's got them all riled up. Good people of how's this again?
Mida.
Olympus. No,
Minas?
Mida.
Mida, yes, the Olympic Games.
Mida. Good people of Mida and the Olympic Village, please calm down.
You just hear boo.
I am an authority ordained by the Olympic Council.
Boo.
Please tell me, what is it that's going on? What has you all so upset?
And you just hear one voice say, "Kill the nymph! Kill the nymph!" And then everyone else starts chanting along.
I'll have you know, inciting a riot is a crime.
You just hear
I'm
more.
going to be forced to arrest all of you.
You just hear another chorus of boo, and something gets thrown at you. Roll a dexterity.
Hey, question, while he's dodging that fruit, can I make an active investigation check to see who said kill the nymph?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a 7
Oh,
minus 3.
Oh no. I rolled a 3, but it turns into a 9. I'm sorry, it turns into a 12.
Okay. Bion, what did you say you got on your dexterity?
I rolled a 7 minus 3.
Ouch.
Oh no.
Amazing.
You get, squarely right between the eyes, hit with an orange.
Well, lucky for me, I love citrus fruit.
Well, it's not it's not a normal firm orange. This is definitely slightly rotten.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So
You're
while
insulted.
they're enticing a riot, I'm gonna distance myself from them a little bit,
Right.
just over to the side, as far as I can get. My speed's 45 feet, so
Okay. Jesus. That's fast.
I'm fast and I can swim.
Yeah, fast as fuck, boy. To quote Nate.
Yeah.
Wait, did you
Fast
say
as fuck,
fast as
boy.
fuck boy?
What?
Did you say fast as fuck boy?
Yeah.
That's
That's
wonderful.
just fuck, boy.
I appreciate that.
You want to see some
Thank
real
you, Nate.
speed, bitch?
Fast as fuck boy.
I love that that's a thing consistently on the podcast now. Anybody have anything else that they want to say before we leave on this angry mob storming
I
off?
find who threw that orange.
Oh, I
I'm
mean,
gonna turn their asshole into a purse.
So,
Everyone I love to investigate that person.
Yeah.
you said we knew who the leaders were of this mob?
I
We were
mean,
trying to get.
at the time that you were trying to calm emotions, yes. Not that you necessarily could make out specifically, who they were well enough to say, okay, well, I know what race, what, description, but at that moment, you could kind of identify the strongest emotions.
Can I try to get up and try to assist with the calming of the crowd?
I mean,
Is it a persuasion or performance?
at this point, it seems like you guys were able to calm them briefly, but
Gotcha. Okay.
that mob mentality is pretty hard to overcome.
Do
Once,
we see the nymph from here?
no, you guys don't know. Even though none of you are from here, but none of you knows of a nymph right around here. Not to say that they're not nearby, but you guys just don't know of one.
Okay. Just wondering.
Niketas, what was your role to identify the chanter?
12.
A 12? Okay. You know, like, a general vicinity, but you could not pick out a specific person.
With the vicinity, I cast minor illusion that says a lot more caution tape around the area. Whoever's caught inside, I encourage them to stay put where they are.
So you just hear
Wow.
boo, and they walk right through it.
Kill him! I guess we're trying to narrow down on whoever called specifically out the nymph because they are now a person of interest.
Right.
I also think they killed Yolos.
I mean, I still think that a bee killed Yolos.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really don't know who would have killed Aeolus. At this point, it might not hurt to find out more about this nymph as quick as you can and try to either cut off this mob or warn them in some way. But yeah, I think this is where we're going to end this session.
Wait, can we narrow it down and end on us identifying the lone individual who called out the nymph that we are now trying to tackle?
Well, you didn't quite roll high enough. Like I said, it was a vicinity, but not a specific individual. It might be something.
You worked up to figure it out.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that you guys think that you could just work your way into the crowd and follow and try to narrow it down. It seems like you guys are pretty. Not necessarily that they're hostile towards you, but they know you at this point.
Oh yeah, because I'm the police.
Yeah.
You hear the current then day and age "fuck the police" song playing in the background.
Yeah.
You know.
The GWA, the Greeks with attitude.
Autograph.